especially being a woman that has any type of passion in this world. But you know what? Don't share your goals. Just do the shit. Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. It's been a month, but you know what? Don't share your goals. Just do the shit. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about the importance of risk, and not only in your career, but just in general, especially being a woman that has any type of passion in this world. You should get used to taking risks. Really be okay and comfortable in that space. And I want to talk about the risks that you take early on. Me personally, my journey has been all about taking risks. I am originally from Detroit, Michigan, but I've lived in 2 other cities previous to this. And not only did that come with taking a risk in trying a new environment, but also taking a risk in career, taking a risk in different pathways as far as like navigating my career. So not just the environment, but also like the direction. I'm going to talk about my first time taking risks. I believe I was like 19, and I was deciding whether or not I wanted to move to Chicago from Detroit. And previous to this, I had been going back and forth and traveling, but I didn't make the decision yet to go. And my biggest obstacle with this was fear. I had fear at the age of 19 of potentially having to move back, or what if it doesn't work out? What if I become homeless? Like, thinking about all the scenarios are just like almost extreme. And then just like taking a chance anyway. I remember at the time I had a really close friend tell me to do basically a tally, and I'll never forget this. Like, we're no longer friends anymore, but that was really good advice. And now that I do anything that's crazy and outside of my normal routine of who I am, I sit down and I do the same method. And I basically do a tally sheet. I draw a line and I put whatever the risk is at the top, okay? And then on one side of it, I say the things that I will be benefiting from actually taking this path, moving in this direction. And on the other side of that list, I write out the reasons why I don't want to do it, the obstacles and challenges in the way. And if the pros weigh out the cons, I then decide to move forward with my risk or my decision. Pros and cons tally really helps me to take my thoughts and put them on paper and divide the fears from the actual purpose of why you have this desire within you to move forward. Which leads me into the thought process of the role of innovation and creativity is taking risk, and it's literally following the unknown path. And I think I figured this portion of creativity out when I was actually creating for my exhibition, I want to say in 2023, and I was just allowing the creativity to guide me. Or even in a structural creativity experience, you're not really told what to do, how to do it, and its guidelines, which is amazing for having structure and understanding systems. But the core meaning of creativity and the core root of it is risk, and it is complete chaos. It's understanding how to navigate it and what is best for you that really creates the entire production. And there is no direct quote-unquote path or a final expectation. That is true fluidity of creativity, and that takes risk, that takes intention to want to create in that way, in that authentic way. And I think understanding this dynamic is important because you want to know how to turn this off and on. I think some of the greatest artists are aware of this flow, and some of them continue to keep it on. And because of that, when you're in their space, it almost feels timeless. I've had opportunities to just hear great creators speak, and it's almost like there is no time zone or time frequency within them like channeling whatever it is creativity that they're bringing down from the ethers. But I do think when you live in a 3D world and realistically you're trying to get from one point to the next, it is very key to learn how to channel your own personal creativity, and that takes risk, and that takes being able to understand how to maneuver and space out your creativity that works best for you. The thing I want to talk about in risk and just like overall creativity, but especially if you're a photographer, is taking a risk when it comes to, talking about your business, one, and also your prices, marketing, partnering with other creatives. Like, don't be afraid to try new things or ease out into new worlds with that. And that comes with taking a risk. That also comes with the potential of being told no. And I think a lot of people fear the rejection of things, but at the end of the day, if you take the risk, it'll just lead to the next thing. The more risk you take, the more calculated risk you take, the more reward. So if you are just constantly on a stream of going in a mundane line, thinking of yourself just going in a linear way about your career or your world, just anything in general, it's going to lead you to the same destination, opposed to if you try to take a leap of faith outside of something that you're normally comfortable with in that. So attempting to try new things, switching up jobs, meeting new people in new networks and new environments and new ecosystems. And in my opinion, the people that take the risk the most are the ones that go the furthest. And that doesn't limit to being at an age range either. I've taken risks in my early 20s, and I have been taking risks now that I'm in my early 30s. And I think the personality for that is more so what you're molding yourself into rather than just doing it to do it. You have to figure out, like, why am I taking the risk for myself, and where is this going to get me in the long term, and how does this suit my growth? A lot of times when we don't take risks, it's because we're comfortable at whatever level we have reached. I think every year you should be tallying where you have been and where you plan to go. And every year doesn't have to have movement. That's a thing that I'm learning. As somebody that was always taking risks all of her 20s, I'm learning that every year does not have to have this major jump from one hill to the next. Comment below, in 2025, since this is like the really action-oriented part of the year, how do you see yourself taking more risk? And whether that's in your creative world, your photography business, comment below, what do you see yourself doing more of? And what comfort zone are you getting yourself out of? Y'all know what to do. Continue to master your gaze.